of colours, brighten up your day.
The whole premise was to build it like they did in the 50s and use what was available from the floor of the shed essentially. So between people's sheds and second-hand parts, I wanted to use quality over new, and over the years, whatever I have upgraded to newer things, I've actually taken off the car and replaced it with stuff from the floor of the shed again, just because they haven't stood the test of time. Tuk tuk. No, we're just going to play underneath it now. Name's Dion Myers from Coffs Harbour. This is 1957 Beetle. Bought it off a guy from Newcastle who's a Volkswagen mechanic called Pre Penfold, who had it sitting in his yard of his workshop for many years under a tarp. And I spotted it out of the corner of my eye, and he basically dismissed me for the first couple of years after I saw it. And I finally weaseled it out of him and created this spectacle. So not everyone's cup of tea, but I enjoy it. I built it for me, not for them. So it's good like that. Yeah, originally had the style of doing a 356 style with the mangles and all that kind of stuff on it, but opted away from that and went for 4-inch dub narrow beam, lowered just on stock rims, and eventually got sick of hitting the car on everything and destroying everything in it, so I decided to raise it. Since then I've put it on 1968 Australian Country Buggy running gear, so it's got the reduction hubs in the rear, it's got the combi / Country Buggy front spindles, which raises it a whole heap more. It's got original Country Buggy rims on it, which are still in their original factory black, and sourced some tyres out of an agricultural machine to stick on it for a bit better grip, because the hardest thing is finding skinny and tall tyres. Yeah, it's more fun now because I live on property, so I actually use it more than what I do being lowered. So yeah, the lowering, I just got sick of hitting everything, and it's no good if you're going off-road either. So I've actually modified a roof rack and stuck the spare wheel on top of a roof rack as a bit of a point of difference as well. The front emblem is also another hard to find piece, which is the flying Volkswagen logo. The bumpers I'd sourced off an old farm car and had them sitting out at the old man's place for many years. Didn't know what to do with them, but I couldn't bring myself to throw them away, so I spliced them into this. They're either pull gates or farm gates, or it's a trampoline or something, I've got no idea, but they are heavy and they are solid, so it's pretty funny. And the 36er that I'd sourced for it was within 3 weeks build of the actual car itself, so pretty close to matching numbers. And I built that up with a Judson originally. Taken the Judson off it, I've gone more Australian speed and got a Lukey muffler on it now. So the swivel tip dual exhaust, it's got a Rofo coil on it, and also the Dusty Conditions F twin air bath filter, which is also a hard to find item. The motor has a 36 horse bash plate that was specifically built for the car. The steering wheel in it is off a standard bug or country buggy, which is another highly sought after item in some circles. Suits the rest of the car because it's trying to keep with that Australian period speed stuff, as well as off-road capabilities. The front gear stick as well is out of a 67 PMG, which I've extended with the quick shift kit and spliced it in with the Beetle one, so it's a longer gear stick that I don't have to actually reach down to move it around. So trying to use as much Australian gear as possible. So the front and rear is an original 57 interior that has slowly deteriorated more over time. And it's been repaired numerous times to try to keep it in the car. It's got a roller pedal by Russ Hoover for a right-hand drive car in it, which is an addition back in the day that I couldn't live without now. Still running 6-volt battery, still running the 6-volt semaphores. Tail lights are LEDs just so people can see it at night time, otherwise it looks like you're driving around with candles. It's got a 5K video tacho in it, as well as the stalk temperature gauge, which is a capillary run one. Yeah, essentially most of it I've built myself with the help of a couple of mates locally, like Brant and Ginge. When I couldn't do things, or if I needed a hand lifting heavy things, they'd come around and give us a hand. But essentially the whole thing was built in the shed. Yeah, just labour of love really. Yeah, just like to thank my other half Bree, as well as the kids, for putting up with all the years of playing with these things in the shed. They used to love driving in it. Not so much now. They get embarrassed because everyone stares at it. Kind of funny, because that was not the intention of it, but that's just what happens because of the look of it now. Funniest thing about it is the age-old question about when you're going to paint it again. Yeah, they don't quite understand the look. They give you a funny look whenever you say that it's painted and it's finished. So it's probably the best part about it is just the fact that people don't quite get it. We could probably take it for a run now. What do you think?
Now you can afford a better place to live. Sunbird Estate Coffs Harbour has the convenience of city living in a relaxed tropical paradise.